Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most. Here on The Rundown, two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos out in the street. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yum.
Oh, Taco Tuesday.
How'd you do? Did you have some Taco Tuesday today?
Well, okay. I had tacos from a place with the name Taco in it, but it was Taco Bell, so I don't know if it really qualifies as tacos. At least it doesn't qualify as Mexican food.
No. The only thing Taco Bell counts for as Mexican is the Mexican phone company, Taco Bell.
There you go.
I guess we'll give it a B for effort. A B for effort.
A B for effort. Well,
yeah.
Sometimes, oh man, I will say this: Taco Bell, it does make for quality drunk food.
Yeah. How long did you have them?
Oh, let's see. Probably about 2 hours ago.
Oh, so you're about ready for your third trip to the bathroom?
No, I've already expelled it all.
Yeah,
it's already made its way through my system.
That's what Taco Bell makes you think. Thinks you're done, but not so much.
Oh, well, it's kind of a colon cleanse.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. It's colon blow is what it is. Yeah. I went to the taco truck today and they had arepas on special, so I had the arepas today.
Ooh, that sounds.
It's
fun.
just like a chopped up taco. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, it's hard if you do tacos every Taco Tuesday. It's a little difficult to have a lot of variety. But then again, there's always the go-tos. Like summertime, I don't know what it is about a nice either shrimp taco or fish taco that just seems to just stand out, especially with a nice cerveza.
Yeah, listen, and I'm going to recommend you only do that within 100 miles of a giant body of water. Just don't have the seafood if you're in Arkansas. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Because chances are it's not fresh seafood.
No. That's it. Yeah. Oh well. We try to give tips. What you do with them is up to you. So
we do, but hey, you know what? Some people have stronger stomachs than others, so they can handle that stuff.
That's right. It's very true.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm one of those folks.
No, not Craig. No.
My body expels it pretty quick. It's like, okay, I gotta go.
Now, have you had any of the radioactive shrimp? Have you had any of that?
I have not had any radioactive shrimp. Although I will say this, I had shrimp fettuccine yesterday for lunch, and I will tell you, it was. I'll just put it to you this way: when the show ended, let's just say I made a beeline for the bathroom. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, that's probably the a little bit of the spices and the plutonium in there. Probably.
There you go. Well, like I said, man, I don't care what they put in it because in the end, I've just come to figure in the combination of it all, that is how I will get my mutant superpowers.
I'm convinced that the radioactive shrimp is how we start the X-Men. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Although I realize you already are a metahuman, as we refer to you as Mike Stradamus.
Oh, yes. I have the ability to predict the past. Yes.
Oh, I love our pre-show banter, but it's about time that we got down to business. And as we get down to business, let's start off with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say hi to our good friends over at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, you probably got one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them factory direct. You can get rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire. Just get on over to hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you could take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to Hog Holsters. That's HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you need the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, EMS, fire, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you can get everything except the gun.
Folks, I want to give a quick shout out to the California Republican Assembly. As you might have heard, the state of California is going to have a special election on November 4th, where they're going to attempt to draw some even more gerrymandered districts than we already have here in the state of California. I tell you that to tell you this: there's no group that is going to fight like the California Republican Assembly. Go there, help them, support them, because the fate of Congress, the fate of the nation, could be in the balance. Not saying, just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a tough fight, Craig. I mean, you guys have already controlling everything else. I don't see how the Republicans stand a chance of voting this down.
Well, so here's the thing, and I'll just throw this out there to you as well. It is going to take what are currently solid Republican districts and is going to make them more competitive. But the only way in which you make them more competitive is by putting Democratic voters in them. Well, where are you going to get those Democratic voters? From other
Mexico.
Democratic districts. So,
Mexico, sorry.
Mexico. Yeah, well, that's part of the plan too. But they're actually moving in. But anyway.
Yeah.
But what they are going to be doing is they're going to be making some districts that right now are purple leaning blue, and they're going to take some of those districts and they're going to make them purple leaning red, meaning there's going to be a lot more competitive districts. So I think that if Republicans, either way, Republicans are going to have more opportunity to win seats rather than less, but they're also going to have more opportunities to lose seats as opposed to less. So it all depends on how strong the Republican Party is going to be here in California.
We will find out. Stay tuned for more.
Stay tuned for more. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching the program live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Rumble, you're watching us live, so we're taking your comments live. So if you got something to say and it is interesting, please say it, and we will share it with our audience, at least if we find it interesting. And if we don't, we won't. And by the way, just so you know, interesting does not mean that you have to agree with us. In fact, it's often more interesting if you disagree with us because, well, let's just say this: we reserve the right to mock you.
We will mock you.
Oh, wow. Was that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
You know, I look for every opportunity I can get to play that video now. It's hilarious. I don't know why it is, but it is.
Yeah, you mockingbird?
Oh, we're going to have a good time here today. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get into our stories here. Now, this is a little bit of an older story. It's from last week. I'm sure you've already heard about it. There was a gentleman who is an illegal immigrant, who is a driver, who is driving a commercial truck and caused an accident, a fatal accident, which caused multiple deaths. And here, I'm going to play the story for you here real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about the fact that 2.5 million people have signed a petition supporting this guy. Anyway, check it out.
All right, an illegal migrant has now been charged after his truck jackknifed a minivan while making an illegal U-turn, killing the 3 people inside the van. The migrant, who is believed to have crossed the border illegally in 2018, was granted a commercial driver's license by the state of California. He now faces vehicular homicide charges and deportation. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier joins me now to talk about this horrific situation. Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us. What was your reaction when you saw this footage and realized this man cost 3 people their lives?
Yeah, it's a horrific situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive large-scale trucks. To then drive into Florida, engage in this dangerous behavior and take the lives of 3 others is really a tragedy, but it shows how dangerous the open border policies under Obama and Biden have been that have continued to wreak havoc on communities across the country. We're certainly going to charge that person with the heaviest crimes we can and make sure that he gets locked up for as long as possible. Before then,
You know, Mike, here's what gets me about this report. Now, not only did he like do an illegal U-turn, and you can see this, there's a sign right there that said no U-turn, right? Well, there was also a problem. So after the accident, they actually administered an English test. Dude could not speak English. Not only could he not speak English, but he only recognized 4 out of a dozen traffic signs. I mean, this is a guy who shouldn't have had, well, first of all, shouldn't have been in the country. Secondly, shouldn't have had a driver's license. And finally, sure as hell should not have had a commercial driver's license.
Yeah, absolutely right. This is, I mean, we lost 3 lives here, 3 innocent lives here in Florida because of what the governor in California did and what his policies allow. You know, here's this guy trying to make himself a national face, and you've got, you know, Johnny Illegal over here coming in, getting a driver's license, can't read English, can't recognize signs. Listen, Craig, I can tell you, I've been to that part of the world. There are no road signs and there are no road rules. So, you know, asking this guy to do those things is probably, too difficult to begin with, but not an obstacle to California. You got the money for a driver's license, we'll give it to you. Here you go. And don't forget to vote in November.
Yeah, there's a reason why we have laws, right? There's a reason why we have immigration laws. There's a reason why we require, it's not just, oh, we don't want people in this country. It's we need to know who's coming in here, right? We need to know what they're bringing with them. We also need to know and understand what are you going to be contributing, or are you just going to be a drain on our society? Now, here's a guy, by the way, doing a job that Americans would do, right? This is a job. People don't understand or know the percentage of illegal immigrants who are in transportation, who are in the service industry. They think they're all coming over here just doing our lawns and picking grapes or picking vegetables. No, they are in construction. They are in the service industry. They are in transportation. They are taking jobs that Americans would do, and they're not doing them very well, by the way, but they are doing them at prices much cheaper than what Americans would do them for.
Yeah, listen, being a truck driver, being a commercial truck driver, that's one of the top 3 finance jobs, the amount of money that you make that break the barrier between education and non-education salaries. So this is a very good paying job. This is $100,000 a year job. I mean, at a minimum, working as a commercial truck driver. So not only did he take, everybody always says, oh, they only take you, like you said, they take, farm picker jobs. No, they're taking real jobs away from people and killing innocent civilians in the process. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. I wish, Craig, we could charge this guy with the death penalty here in Florida, but they're going to charge him with, 3 counts of intentional, vehicle manslaughter, and he'll do, 15, 20 years. I wish they could, charge him with the death penalty, put him to death, and then send him back to where he came from.
Wow. Yeah, you're kind of serious about that, ain't you?
This is down the street for me.
Yes.
This is, within an hour's drive. And this is allowed to go on because of the stupidness in California.
Yes, and stupidness it is. And to compound that stupidness, here you've got a case. Nearly 2.5 million people signed petitions supporting illegal immigrant truck driver charged in fatal crash. It says here a petition urging Florida officials to show leniency towards Harinder Singh, an illegal immigrant truck driver accused of causing a crash that killed 3 people, has garnered nearly 2.5 million signatures as of Sunday afternoon. The petition, posted on the website change.org and addressed to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, calls for both DeSantis and the Florida Board of Executive Clemency to re-examine the case against the 28-year-old. Singh faces 3 counts of vehicular homicide, and 3 counts of manslaughter in connection with the deadly August 12th crash. Harinder Singh, 28, an illegal immigrant, was operating a commercial semi-truck with a trailer on the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce when he allegedly attempted a U-turn in an unauthorized area. The trailer jackknifed and collided with a minivan, including all 3 passengers, killing all 3 passengers, according to Florida officials. I don't know what the penalties are for vehicular manslaughter, but I'm thinking it's going to wind up being appropriate. Once again, murder is, there has to be at least a level of intent to kill. I don't think he intended to kill, but I do think vehicular homicide and manslaughter fit in particular, because he was so negligent. And part of it is people say, well, accidents happen. No, when you are a commercial truck driver, wherever you are, you should know, it's on you to know the rules of the road when you're driving a vehicle that weighs several tons and has the ability to kill people. I'm sorry, there's a responsibility that you have to know what it is that you're doing, and dude clearly didn't know.
Yeah, he could have been running with 80,000 pounds of vehicle beneath him. Listen, our Attorney General down here, Udmeyer, he is quite the aggressive when it comes to law and order. I would hope it's in the back of his mind, and he's thinking about it now, that he charges culpable negligence to Gavin Newsom, because him and his policies allowed these deaths to occur. If the law had been followed in California, they had not broken the law in California, these people would be alive here today.
Well, if he does that, I'm hoping he charges every single person who voted for the law allowing this to happen. Every single Democrat, because I know no Republicans voted for it. But every single Democrat who voted to allow this to happen. And I'm still trying to figure out how he got a commercial license. I mean, if you can't speak English, if you can't recognize road signs, in particular one that says no U-turn, not only should you not be driving a vehicle, you should not be driving a commercial vehicle, most definitely.
Well, we know how he got the license, right? Because in California, nobody asks you for proof of residency before you get a license. And then when he goes in and fakes the test or passes somebody $50 or $100 to get it done, we've seen that happen many times in California as well. Again, this all comes down to the governor, and if he's not charged, I'd be surprised.
Well, I'm hoping that happens. I would love to see that happen, because people need to understand that bad policy has consequences, and this is a great example where literally bad policy in one state has cost lives in another state.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, Mike, and this is the thing that gets me, is Democrats don't take crime seriously. They think that those who are criminals are actually victims. And when you talk about crime, right, because especially the people who are running the Democratic Party, they don't live in the neighborhoods. They're not in the places where the crime is actually taking place. So to them, there is no crisis, as exemplified by this one speaker at the DNC who basically said, oh yeah, no, Republicans are just manufacturing crime. It's not a real thing. And by the way, even if it was, it really doesn't matter.
Because it's not about safety for them. It is about power, and it's about grabbing power however they can. And this is a vulnerability. This tough on crime rhetoric and actions, which historically I think Democrats have seen as a win for Republicans, it is actually a liability right now. Democrats have an opportunity to call this out for what it is. And yet we're at a moment where this is the standard response that we're seeing from at least some Democrats. This is a distraction from the Epstein files. This is not about crime, because crime is actually at a 30-year low. You want to talk about who's really soft on crime? Look at him pardoning the J6 defendants. This is a manufactured crisis. Look, these are all true statements, but what it misses for Democrats to go on the offense and say, we are about safety, we are about accountability, we are about justice. And so
just a couple of things. So, number one, and this is, I talked about this yesterday. One of the things that they're looking at is they keep saying it's on a 30-year low. That is a lie. That is a flat out lie. Crime in most of the big cities hit a peak in 2023 because it was already going up in places like California and other places. It skyrocketed in 2020. As soon as we hit between COVID and the George Floyd riots, ever since then, crime went through the roof, right? It hit a peak in 2023. It went down in 2024, and we don't have the full numbers for 2025 yet, so we don't even know if it's going to be down again. But they take 1 year and they say, "Oh yeah, crime's going down, so we've got no crime problem." And on top of that, we also know that at least in Washington D.C., they're being investigated for cooking the books and lying about crime in order to make their statistics look better. But ultimately, though, here's what it comes. And Ben Shapiro, I love the way he puts this. He calls them luxury values. In other words, you can say there is no real crime when you live in a neighborhood or you live in a place where you have a gated community and you're safe and you're not experiencing the crime. The people who are saying that aren't the people who live in the neighborhoods where all this crime is taking place.
Craig, you're going to have to give me more warning next time you put something like that on the airwaves here for us. I think I passed out from her ignorance. I just couldn't deal with it. I missed half of it. It's so dumb. I mean, there's no better word. She's such an idiot. She is one of these ones where, Craig, it doesn't matter what's going right. You know, and I think you pointed this out the other day, the whole 80-20 Democrats, right? You know, everything's going right with Trump. You know, 80% of everything is going right. Whether you like Trump or you're not, everything is, the economy's doing great, tariffs are doing great, international trade's doing great, crime's doing wonderful, coming down. So they latch onto that last 20% where either the Democrats or the Republicans are ignoring, or it's just not working out yet. And that's where they have to grasp. Oh, this, don't, what about this? What about this? And here she is grasping onto that last little bit in that 20%. She's an idiot. Crime. The MPD, like you just said, the crime stats in Metropolitan Police in DC are fraudulent. We know that. You know, the whistleblowers have come out. We've seen that already. She's you know, the Democrats at this point will grasp onto anything that they can to try and make Trump look bad, and all it does is prove their idiocy, to prove how ridiculously stupid they are, fighting for that last straw.
You know, Mike, here's the thing that gets me about it is, and this is why I say Donald Trump is the ultimate troll. I want you to think about this. He's gotten Democrats to say open borders is great. He's gotten Democrats to say that boys should be playing in men should be playing in women's sports and men should be in women's bathrooms. He's gotten Democrats to say that, oh, well, you know, crime isn't bad, right? Crime is good and we should let criminals out. He's gotten Democrats to actually say that if someone entered the country illegally and they've committed a crime, we should put them back out on the streets. In fact, we shouldn't even charge them bail. That is what he's got Democrats justifying now. Now, Bugs Bunny could not have done it better, right? When, you know, with Daffy Duck, when he would go, you know, it's rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, duck season, rabbit season.
No, it's baseball season.
It's baseball season.
And listen, he just got 2.5 million Democrats to say, let the man go who killed 3 innocent people on the highway because he illegally had a driver's license.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, man. It's nobody's ever responsible in the Democrats' world. And here's the thing. Number one, yes, I blame the Democrat policymakers because you know what? You shouldn't have a policy where you're going to allow someone to be on the road where they could potentially kill somebody, because this was eventually going to be the result of that happening. And by the way, and Mike, you and I know this is not the first instance of an illegal immigrant driving poorly and killing people or causing injuries.
Yeah.
So
but
we know,
now, Craig, they don't want these, but we know that these are not the policies they want to be supporting. But Trump has taken ownership of everything that hasn't been done and has been ignored for so long that there's nothing left.
Right.
Because they would much rather be on the, yeah, we could go with some immigration reforms, and yeah, it would be nice to have some crime reforms. But he's taking control of it. So if they say anything on that side, oh, you're just a Trump supporter now.
The only thing that they have left, Mike, is to be against Trump, and that's it. And it is the whole.
That's it.
It's the whole kit and caboodle of what they are about. And nowhere is it more exemplified than this interview between Joe Scarborough and, Morning Joe, left-wing, leftist, former Republican congressman who bashes Donald Trump and bashes Republicans every chance he gets when he's on in the morning. But here he is interviewing Mayor Brian Johnston, the mayor of Chicago, Chirac. And he's bragging about all of these I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And he gives him the opportunity because he's like, once again, Brian Johnson was part of the defund the police movement. He gives him an opportunity to say, he asks him a question. Do you believe that funding more cops would make a difference? And needless to say, dude could not even bring himself to agree with that.
Ask you, Mr. Mayor, those all sound like great programs. I'm curious, would you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want. I'm curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that we don't.
That's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying.
See, now, five different chances he had to say. Now, if there is ever evidence that more people on the streets in uniform will make a difference, it's the last 12 days in Washington, D.C.
0 murders, 0 violent crime. I mean, it's. I don't know what more proof you could ask for. And I will say this, Craig, we jokingly call it Chirac for Chicago. More Americans killed in Chicago than killed in Iraq during the war.
Wow. Maybe Iraq needs to have its name changed.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to be Chirac.
Yeah, that's it. Change their name to Chicago, be a little safer, right?
There you go. May change the name to Chicago, be a little safer. But I mean, how can you not he so does not want to agree that Trump did something right. Yeah. That he refuses to accept. He's even got Morning Joe acknowledging, oh yeah, all of these programs, which by the way, the only thing I give some of these programs is that they acknowledge that that a lot of, in particular, the gun crimes, it's a people issue, it's not a gun issue. So there's some of that there. But other than that, I mean, he talks about the 1990s. I mean, across the board, across the nation, crime went down in the 1990s, largely because we got tougher on crime and we put more cops on the streets.
Yep. Right. It's pretty simple math, right? More cops, less crime. It's just hard to figure. Yeah, and it's just not very difficult to figure out.
And by the way, crime didn't just go down in general. Crime went down where we put more cops.
Yep, exactly right. Yep.
Simple math, but some people are too simple for simple math.
Yeah, this guy, when you talk about simple, he's might as well call him Simple Jack. He's about as simple as they get.
Simple Jack, Simple Byron. There you go.
Yeah, that's it, yep.
Look at the big brain on Byron. All right. Well, I will say this. I've had the chance to experience the campaigning prowess of Mr. Gavin Newsom ever since he first came on the scene running for lieutenant governor. I remember when he was mayor of San Francisco. This guy's very, very good at retail politics, and now he's showing that he's very, very good at trolling. In fact, he's launched a website called The Patriot Shop, and let's just say that it's got conservatives a little bit up in an uproar, but it's got Democrats, just loving them some Gavin Newsom.
New tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom is taking the fight nationwide. He started a website selling merchandise that parodies the president. As ABC 10's Garjpal Sangha explains, it's all sparking a big debate.
It looks like a page straight out of Trump's playbook, but instead of Make America Great Again, the new merchandise says things like, Newsom was right about everything.
Love it. I thought it was hilarious, honestly.
And Newsom's sticking up for the Democrats, and we love that.
Other voters say it's about time the Democrats play the same game.
Yeah, it does excite me a bit that Gavin Newsom is doing something more to fight back against Trump.
Governor Gavin Newsom's Political Action Committee, Campaign for Democracy, runs the Patriot Shop and says it pulled in more than $100,000 in its first day online. ABC 10 asked this campaign for comment, and it said, quote, if Trump keep handing us material, we'll keep punching back with it. The merch is flying, Dems are fired up, and we're just getting started.
But the question is this an effective strategy?
I'm excited. I think people around the country are excited.
Ed Emerson, a Democratic consultant.
The strategy always is find the base, energize them, give them something to do, repeat. And I think that's what Gavin's doing right now, and I think it's a winning strategy.
Obviously, the Republicans don't agree.
The reality is much of the excitement that Republicans have for President Trump is directly tied to the failed policies of the Democratic Party and how they've literally taken the 20% side of every 80-20 issue. And Gavin Newsom has been a leader in that over the last decade.
For this couple visiting from Orange County, this husband is a moderate and welcomes the new merchandise. His wife is a Republican.
No, I don't like it. That's already for Trump. Let Newsom find his own things to advertise.
How do you guys make this work?
We fight our own battle, but then if it's time to say, okay, let's agree to disagree, we settle for it.
It's something like, I think that should be the American way.
Newsom's merch is turning heads and stirring debate. Reporting in Sacramento, Garjpal Sangha, ABC 10.
What's funny about this is they're like, oh, well, it sold $100,000. I'm like, yeah, Donald Trump's merch has sold 100 to 1,000 times more than that. But the other thing that gets me is that everything in his merch is lies. Everything. It's like, but that's all. But then again, that's all Gavin Newsom really has.
Yeah, listen. So a couple of weird Democrats in California are going to be wearing this stuff. I bet you, Greg, when you go back and you take a look at it, if they did the analysis of who made the purchases, it's probably, I don't know, the Los Angeles Fire Relief Fund that purchased everything.
Probably. But anyway, I will say this. Gavin Newsom has been successful enough in some of this stuff to where, I mean, I'll put it this way, right now, he is the number one potential candidate among Democrats for the Democratic nomination. And I will just say this, that's not a good sign for Democrats.
And listen, it's a great sign for us, right? Because the most feared thing is having a squeaky clean Democrat come about, no past and no history. And Newsom's got every day of lies, daily lies.
Well, and I'll tell you another one that worries me about the person. I'm sorry, that worries me is Westmore. Westmore comes across as now his policies are left wing, but between his military background and a lot of his rhetoric, he comes across very old school Democrat, shall we say.
Yeah, well, I don't think Newsom's going to give up the spotlight to him.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. All right, folks. Well, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your hog holster today. Our first one here, you might have seen the video. If you watched the show yesterday, you got a chance to see the video of Mamdani failing to be able to bench 135 pounds one time. Well, our friends, sorry. What's the sign again? Show me again. Zoltan. There we go. There you go. Anyway, from the folks over at the Babylon Bee, fake news you can trust. Help, I need a spotter, cries Mamdani, struggling under a 5-pound yoga dumbbells.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. Don't doubt it.
Don't doubt it. Dude, he just looks so sad. I was like, really? I was like, and he did it, Mike, at a thing. It was like the Man Festival.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good.
Did you hear that Abrego Garcia is back in custody?
What? I'm so surprised.
I know. It says here, human traffickers says it's inhumane to be trafficked to another country.
Oh, well, there you go. I'll just send him to California and give him a commercial driver's license.
There you go. No, you get him you send him back to Florida. There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Send him here. We got something for him.
All right. So here's another. This is an interesting one. You heard that Trump has basically said he's going to keep 600,000. He's going to allow 600,000 Chinese immigrants who are students here. He's going to allow them to go ahead and stay. Now, Babylon Bee has revealed his secret plot as to why he's doing that. It says here, genius Trump enacts plan to dumb down Chinese population by inviting them to attend American universities.
Brilliant. This guy's brilliant, I tell you.
Okay. I'm starting to believe in this 4D chess thing.
I'm telling you, he's got it.
Yeah. And here's another one. Now, you heard that he's now we're basically, as a part of a deal he's cutting with Intel, we're going to basically own, or the United States is going to have a 15% equity ownership in Intel, right? Which is revealing another plan of his. Trump vows to nationalize as many private companies as it takes to defeat socialism.
Oh yeah. Sometimes the Babylon Bee, it was they got some info. Yeah.
Sometimes they have some info. All right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of the program. But before we go, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR, now you can get a rifle barrel, pistol barrel, rifle caliber, pistol length, whatever you want. You can rebarrel your current platform or start your next AR build right there at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And again, if you need the best in field gear, web gear, tactical gear, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, and place an order at uscombatgear.com.
All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be back tomorrow on Hump Day. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe, and we will see you mañana.